Hi there, YouTubers. Welcome to the YouTube. I hope you guys are good. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the coldest things in the universe. Before watching this video, I didn't realize just how cold things can actually get. Like, imagine being outside naked in the middle of winter. You think that's pretty cold, and then you watch this video and you think, oh my god, what the hell? I didn't even know it was possible to get that cold, to be honest. Now, the coldest thing I have ever experienced is actually, I think, about -8, -9 degrees centigrade. So I'm excited to see what's actually colder than that, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a lot colder as well. So we're going to be looking at the coldest things in the universe, and as this video goes on, the things get colder and colder and colder and colder. So make sure you stick around to the end to see what the coldest thing is possible. It might surprise you, unless you're a genius and you already know. You might do. But before we start, guys, as always, I just want to point this out. Of all of you fantastic people who watch my videos, there's a massive 70.3% of you that haven't subscribed yet. So if you enjoy watching my videos and you've been watching me for a while, and you realize you haven't subscribed yet, then just hit it. Just hit it. Or you literally have to do it once. And it will save that forever. And it really helps me out in more ways than one. So thank you so much. I love you all. Okay, let's get on with this video. It's going to be a bit more of a sciencey one, I feel like, but it's going to be cool. Okay, so the first cold thing on this list at 37 degrees C, it's not actually that cold, it's quite warm, is the normal body temperature. Oh, brilliant. This is a video about the coldest things in the universe, and the first thing on this list is me. Is that a dig? Is that a dig at me? Younger people tend to have higher average body temperatures as our ability to regulate it decreases with time. That's actually the warmest thing on this list. The next thing is 35 degrees C, hypothermia. Hypothermia occurs when body temperatures drop below 35 degrees C. That's interesting. So it's literally just 2 degrees below the normal body temperature. That's all it needs for you to get hypothermia. I thought it'd be way less than that. Causes include exposure to cold temperatures as well as certain medical conditions. Wow. Okay, a big drop now, 70 degrees C, room temperature. Although the optimal bedroom temperature is slightly lower and for bathrooms slightly higher. Yeah, I have my thermostat set to like 18 degrees, I think, maybe 17. I feel like that's enough for me. I'm a warm man. 19 degrees C, average cold shower. Really, the average cold shower is 19 degrees C. Research suggests that cold showers boost the immune system, reduce pain, and boost moods. I would agree with all of those things. I have cold showers, not daily, but quite often, and they are great. Like, it's horrible when you're in them, but when you get out, you feel like the best person in the world. 17 degrees C, indoor ice rink. Meanwhile, the ice temperature is kept at around -3. Hockey players prefer colder, harder ice, while figure skaters prefer it softer. Well, there you go, didn't know that. At 15 degrees C, we have the average Earth temperature. Global warming has contributed to a rise in the average temperature on Earth. The average temperature worldwide is literally you're taking the Sahara Desert, the heat of Sahara Desert, and the cold of Antarctica, and whatever we've got going on in the UK right now. All in one, and the average is 15 degrees. That's crazy. 13.7 degrees C is the coldest human body. In May 1999, 28-year-old Anna Begenholm's body temperature dropped to 13.7 degrees after a ski fall. Oh my god. And it said that after, was it 35 degrees C, you get hypothermia. How was she not dead? Or maybe she was, I don't know. At 13 degrees C is an ice bath. Ice baths are often taken by athletes to relieve muscle sores. They definitely, I've had ice baths that are like 5 degrees, 4 degrees. And let me tell you, they're cold. At 10 degrees C, an igloo. The temperature inside an igloo can get up to 10 degrees despite it being a lot colder outside. I've always wanted to go in an igloo. I've never been in one, but that would be cool. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video, guys, to see what the coldest thing in the universe is. At 3 degrees C is refrigerators. Before these systems were invented, so before fridges were around, people used to cool food with snow and ice. What if you didn't have access to snow and ice, though? That's the thing. Like, what would you do then? 2.5 degrees C is morgue cold chambers. Even colder if the body hasn't been identified. Ooh. 2.5 degrees C. That is freezing. Well, it's not actually. It's not even freezing. At 1 degree C is January in New York City. January in New York City has highs of 4 and lows of -3. I mean, yeah, that's not crazy. I feel like it's similar to the UK. Like, I feel like that would happen in London, wouldn't it? 0 degrees C. So, because it's just literally on 0, freezing point of water. So at this temperature, water starts to freeze, also known as the melting point. So at -0.55 degrees C, you get frostbite. Frostbite can occur at temperatures below 0.55 degrees C, and it is when blood flow slows and body tissue freezes. Oh my god. So that's what frostbite is. So frostbite is when the blood flow slows and the actual tissue freezes. It normally happens in my fingers. Fingers! I can't ever not do that. So I didn't know that. So that's why it hurts so much. Have you ever had frostbite and your hands go blue and then someone slaps your fingers? Hurts so Finger. At minus 1.8 degrees C is sea ice. The freezing point of seawater is lower than freshwater because of the salinity. The salinity? The saltiness, basically. It's got to be that, right? Don't forget to stick around to the end, guys, to see what the coldest thing in the universe is. It's a bit nippy. At minus 2 degrees C is the sinking of the Titanic. Oh my god. This happened on the 15th of April, 1912 in the North Atlantic Ocean. That's the thing with that tragedy, is that they didn't just drown, but the water was so cold. Minus 2. Just no thank you. That's all I've got to say to that. Minus 3 degrees C. Okay, it's getting cold now, guys. It's a slushy. Too cold and it's a block of ice. Too warm and ice crystals won't form. I never really thought of it that way. Yeah, I suppose it can't be too cold because then it's just a block of ice and it's not a slushy. That's why they've got to keep it at the perfect temperature. At minus 4 degrees C, the Sahara Desert at night. Oh my god, that's so cold. The air is so dry that heat escapes at night. I just think that's crazy. That's how cold a desert gets. At minus 4.5 degrees C is skiing. Too cold and it's uncomfortable. Too warm and the snow melts. But yeah, I mean, people ski at other temperatures. So I'm guessing that's like the perfect temperature though. At minus 7 degrees C are blizzards. Extreme blizzards occur at minus 12 degrees C. Whoa. Okay, the next one is minus 8 degrees C. And I think this is the coldest temperature I've personally experienced. I don't think I've experienced anything colder than that in my life. So at minus 8 degrees C is an ice room at an ice hotel. This hotel in Sweden keeps the temperature inside the ice rooms between minus 5 and minus 8. A thermal sleeping bag is provided so the guests don't get too cold. That is so cool. I kind of want to stay in that room now. I always sleep better in a colder room as well. Unless it's too cold, obviously. I mean, to be fair, minus 8 does sound a bit nippy. Does sound a bit nippy new, doesn't it? At minus 15 degrees C is scooping ice cream. Wow, that's how cold it is. Gelato is best scooped at a slightly higher temperature. Yeah, because if it's too cold, then it's just a block of ice. Minus 18 degrees C is a freezer. Freezers are great ways to reduce food waste. Yeah, you don't need to try and sell me a freezer. I know what it is. Minus 30 degrees C, average Arctic winter. The Arctic is very windy and doesn't get much rain. That's crazy. To think that, as I said earlier, the coldest temperature I've experienced is minus 8. Another minus 22 beyond that. That's ridiculous. Minus 36 degrees C, peak of Mount Everest in winter. Its summit lies 8,848 meters above sea level. Peak of Mount Everest in the winter, so right at the top. I don't get why it's so cold up there, because obviously maybe somebody brighter than me in the comments can explain this to me, but I thought heat rises, right? So why is the top of a mountain so cold? Answer me that. Let me know. I'm an idiot. I don't know things. Minus 40 degrees C is the summer in the North Pole. Pack your swimsuits. Oh my god, the summer in the North Pole is minus 40. Bloody hell. I'm never going to the North Pole. At minus 50 degrees C, the coldest livable region. That is ridiculous. Imagine trying to start your car in minus 50 degrees C. Oymyakon in Russia has an average temperature of minus 50 degrees C in winter and has only 3 hours of sunlight a day. That is crazy. I kind of want to visit there now. I kind of just want to experience what that's like. Could you survive if you stripped off all your clothes so you were naked and you just ran outside for 5 seconds and ran back in? Would you survive that? Do you think you would? I think you would, wouldn't you? Like, it wouldn't be that cold. Or would it? Would you just freeze instantly? You run to you. Hey guys, look at me! You're just stuck there forever. Minus 60 degrees C, penguin habitats. Penguin habitats can drop as low as minus 60 degrees centigrade in some Arctic zones. Their feathers and body fat means they are adapted to it. Yeah, and they also huddle together, don't they, for warmth. That would just be... well, it would be cold, wouldn't it? At minus 78.5 degrees C is dry ice. Dry ice is frozen carbon dioxide. Touching it can cause extreme burns. Its most common use is food preservation. It's funny how it's that cold and it causes burns. But it is, isn't it? It causes ice burns. At minus 89.6 degrees C is the coldest day. Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. In 1983, its temperature dropped to minus 89.6 degrees in Vostok. That is ridiculous, isn't it? That is unbelievably cold. I just kind of want to experience what that was like, but like for 10 seconds and no more. Okay, so if that was the coldest day ever recorded on Earth, I think we're going to get to the more scientific-y ones now. Is that a word, scientific-y? Probably not. At minus 114 degrees C is the freezing point of pure ethanol. Alcoholic drinks contain pure ethanol in addition to water and other ingredients, so the freezing point will be high. Yeah, that's like when you put a bottle of wine or something in the freezer. It doesn't actually freeze. It just goes really cold because it needs to be at minus 114 degrees C for that. At minus 125 degrees C is Mars at night in the winter. This is due to its distance from the sun and thin atmosphere. Okay, remind me never to go there. And Elon Musk wants to put us there, does he? Well, no, I won't be volunteering. At minus 170 degrees C is Mercury at night. Meanwhile, it can reach highs of 450. 450! The greatest temperature range in the solar system. So it's minus 170 degrees at night and 450 degrees in the day. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Minus 182 degrees C is the moon at night. The moon's temperature is on average minus 183 degrees at night, as there isn't enough atmosphere to help trap heat. Wow. And we went there. We've been there. Minus 183 degrees C is the boiling point of oxygen. Oxygen is the third most common element in the universe. That's good to know that, isn't it? As that's what we breathe. And minus 195 degrees C is Uranus. Your anus, guys, is minus 195 degrees centigrade. It is the 7th planet from the sun. Nothing funny about it at all. No, it's not. It's just Uranus. Minus 196 degrees C is liquid nitrogen. Its uses include freezing and transporting food, and in medicines such as removing precancerous cells. I've heard about liquid nitrogen. I didn't know it got that cold, though. It's cold, isn't it? That is cold. I've seen a video, actually, of someone in the Arctic, and they had, I don't know how cold it was, probably like minus 50 or something ridiculous. And they had a kettle of boiling water, and they went outside, and they threw it in the air, and it instantly froze. Like, it just formed icicles and, like, evaporated into the sky. I just thought, wow. I don't want to go. I can't even have a cup of tea there. At minus 214 degrees C is Neptune. Neptune is the coldest planet with an average temperature of minus 214 degrees. This is because it is the furthest away from the sun. Well, there you go, guys. At minus 225 degrees C is Pluto. Pluto is classified as a dwarf planet, so it doesn't actually count as a planet, I'm guessing. Poor Pluto. At minus 259 degrees C is the melting point of hydrogen. Hydrogen is the smallest element. When it says melting point of hydrogen, because it's not going to melt, surely it's not going to melt at that temperature. It's going to freeze. I don't get it. I don't know. Somebody sciencey explain it to me in the comments. So many of you guys are way smarter than me, so yeah, let me know, please. At minus 270 degrees C is outer space, also known as the cosmic background temperature. Whoa, so literally just outer space. I mean, I knew it was cold, but I didn't know it was that cold. I'd like to see how quickly you could freeze things in that kind of temperature. Yeah, if you threw water out there, how quickly would it freeze? I'm guessing instantly. It'd probably just instantly freeze anything. Okay, guys, we've made it to the two most cold things in the universe. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's minus 273 degrees centigrade is the Boomerang Nebula. This nebula is a reflecting cloud of dust and gas 5,000 light years from Earth. Its temperature is just above absolute zero. What's absolute zero, I hear you ask? Well, absolute zero is minus 273.15 degrees centigrade. Absolute zero, the lowest possible temperature. Scientists have yet to achieve this temperature. It is thought to be so cold that atoms would stop moving. What the hell? I mean, I've got a lot of questions with stuff like that because I want to know, A, how they know how cold absolute zero is. Have they measured it? Like, how have they done that? And B, how do they know that is the coldest it gets? Like, have they seen my heart? Don't know why I said that. But like, seriously, you know what I mean though? Like, how do they know that? It could go. Why can't it go to minus 300? Why is it specifically that number? Like that is very specific as well. Some measurements by some people way smarter than I am have been made. So yeah, stuff like that really interests me when it gets to like the universe. I love space. I think it's really cool. Right, okay, guys. Well, they are the coldest things in the universe. I love how we started with just the body temperature, just for reference, so you knew. Let me know in the comments, guys, what is the coldest temperature you have ever experienced? I'd love to know. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching and you learned something new, or I made you laugh. And if I did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out in more ways than one, and it means the world to me. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!